Something very interesting has been happening in the oil patch we want to tell you about. Crude oil has now fallen the last few months, both here and around the world, but the American oil stocks have fallen a lot more. Now there is a real concern about where the industry may be headed. Brian Sullivan is joining us this morning with more on where this part of the story is headed next. Brian.
Yeah, Andrew, it's been headed down and down in a big way, and a lot of investor losses. I mean, if you haven't been paying attention to oil and gas stocks, here are some of the stats and what has been going on. Half of oil and gas stocks have lost more than 50% of their value or more in just the past year. Think about that. Half have lost half. Valuations, though, they've come down and in many cases are now lower than when oil was 30 or 35 a barrel. Oil's at 51, 52 a barrel, but valuations are below that. There's also some new fears out there, guys, about oil well issues. Concho Resources a couple of weeks ago reported disappointing results from some experimental fracked wells that it had, and that kind of spooked people. Concho stock fell 22%, by the way, in one day on that. And, of course, you got a lot of debt. These companies, a lot of them are built on debt. Drilling wells is expensive, and companies that have the highest levels of debt hit among the hardest. By the way, more than $200 billion globally in oil and gas debt around the world. Now, the pain is everywhere, but certain operating areas have been hit harder. Higher cost areas hit particularly hard. The Bakken, way up there in northwestern North Dakota, a little more expensive than the rest. Their stocks, on average, Oasis, Continental Resources, etc., down 59%. Oklahoma lost 58%. These are, by the way, one-year gains. The Permian, not immune. Ironically, the best performing of the stocks groups, the offshore names. And when I say best, I mean they've lost only 46%. I mean that tongue-in-cheek. Energy stocks, the percent of the market, guys, now at 4.7%. It's never been lower. And here's the irony. The one-year chart of oil, it's actually been okay. Oil prices are actually basically where they were. Yeah, we're off December lows, but we're basically where we were a year ago, guys. But these stocks have completely decoupled from oil and gas names. They've lost the XOP 71% over 5 years. I mean, investors cannot run away from oil and gas stocks fast enough.